You're listening to the Really Very Crunchy podcast with your hosts, Emily
and Jason. I have to say, I know a lot of people aren't watching on video, they're just listening, but your hair looks fantastic. And you combed it with a fork.
If you are a woman who has hair that has any like wave or curl or body at all, you understand the urgency of getting out of the shower and needing to get it in its place, okay? Yeah. So I took a shower and couldn't find my brush. I don't understand. I use a wet brush because you're really not supposed to brush your hair when it's wet. But I have a special wet brush. And
I didn't even know this existed.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually have two of them. One's a travel size, but I can't find either of them. I don't know where they are, but the urgency was weighing on me because once your hair dries bad, there's no going back.
Yeah.
So I used a fork, like Ariel style. You know, she did that in The Little Mermaid, right? That's where I got the idea.
I haven't seen that movie in 30 years. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, come on, Jason.
This has actually been
Come on, Jason.
What? You
wooed me with The Little Mermaid.
Okay, so McDonald's, when I was a kid... This is on topic. McDonald's had they did these Disney tapes, songs on tape, and one of the songs was "Look at this stuff, isn't it neat?" I don't know what it's called. A Part of Your World, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that was one of them. So there's a lot of Disney songs where I didn't actually see the movie a ton, but I knew the songs because I had the tape
you
of the songs.
You would jam to that song.
Oh, yeah.
Like your top songs when I met you were probably Part of Your World and what's the Kelly Clarkson one?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Behind These Hazel Eyes. You would man, I've never heard you sing with so much passion.
Behind these hazel eyes.
So
here I am.
Yeah.
Once again.
It was good. So, let's just take one moment in remembrance, almost a moment of quiet where we can think about how good the McDonald's Happy Meal toys used to be.
Oh, man.
So good. I mean, the whole Beanie Baby craze.
Power Rangers.
And it was something that every parent was on board with.
Batman.
We didn't have any money, but we were going to McDonald's to get those Beanie Babies.
Oh, well, I didn't go for the Beanie Babies. Well, actually, I did. I had Seymour the Seal.
Yeah.
I forgot about
him. We were going. We were getting it.
Well, I guess we don't have to cook tonight. We need to get a Beanie Baby.
We were investing. That was my parents' form of investment. We had this massive suitcase full of Beanie Babies because my mom was a manager at a restaurant and she got at cost. She could buy the Beanie Babies at cost because the gift shop carried them.
I didn't know this.
Yes. So
you thought you guys were really in deep then.
We were in
You're getting it at
deep.
Cost.
Yes. I actually told everyone at school that my mom could get them whatever Beanie Babies they wanted in a desperate cry for friendship. And so then I came home with this list and my mom was like, no.
So how long was your list?
Pretty long.
I can imagine. I mean, 50 kids. Yeah. Ooh, you can get them at cost?
Yeah.
How much is, Larry the Lion?
Yeah, so then...
I hear he's going to be worth a fortune someday.
I was pretty much solidified as the loser after being like, hey guys, my mom can't get you the Beanie Babies. Never mind.
No. So they all think you're a liar. Yeah, right. Get them at cost.
Until they came over and saw my suitcase full.
You've been hoarding the Beanie Babies.
We weren't allowed to take the tags off or anything,
Well, no, you can't. That's, that's how they retained all of their value.
Those little plastic cases around each tag.
Yeah, I never really got into it.
Yeah. Well, you missed out.
It seems like I didn't, actually.
From the Beanie Babies.
Sounds like I didn't.
Oh, this just popped in my head. This was the weirdest thing ever involving a Beanie Baby, but I know we need to get back on track. I just need to tell the story. Okay, there was this guy. I was at the grocery store and I was with the boys, and this was when they were much younger. Anyway, this guy walked up and he was like, I need you to take this. And it was a Beanie Baby, one of the special bears in a glass case. And it was really strange, and I didn't know what to do. And
Like he was handing it off like he thought you were the person that was supposed to get it in a drop.
He was homeless. He had like his cart full of stuff.
I'm glad you're here. Here's take this.
You need to take this. And then he rushed to the bathroom. And I was like, okay, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know if I should take it. I took it, but I felt really weird about it. Like, what if there's a tracking device in it or something like crazy?
Weird, yeah.
So then I just drove it out to the country and dropped it off in a random spot.
And he gets there like 3 days later, like, what's this?
Yeah. She's on to me. Anyway, that was my Beanie Baby story.
Nice.
But I never got the special edition McDonald's stuff. We weren't splurging for the tapes and things like that.
Oh, was that did you have to pay up for that?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's
Like
only
the
4.
glasses.
There's only 4 at the time, like 4 Disney tapes.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you had to splurge and you had to, but man, you don't see that. Of course, we don't really watch much TV, so maybe that still happens, but I don't know. I don't think it's like it used to be.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think anything's like it used to be. Do they even do like
Toys?
Again, we don't even do
know.
cereal, but do they do toys and cereal anymore?
Oh, probably
Is that
not.
a thing?
I think
We
do those,
avoid
like,
the center aisles at
those box top things.
grocery stores.
Is that
What? They do box
They
tops
do
for
box
education or something.
Oh, okay. I thought that.
Yeah. Kids always cared about that.
Yeah. Taking their box tops in.
Did you ever see a kid take their box tops in?
I actually took box tops in.
Well, of course you did.
Mm-hmm.
We know you did. I get that you took the box tops in, but did anybody else?
I don't know, and I don't know that my school even then submitted
You
them.
know, if your
They're
teacher like, here's my box tops
a
for
gallon
education.
Ziploc bag full of box tops.
Wow. And your teacher's like, thanks. We're a Catholic school. We don't take these.
We don't qualify.
Speaking of McDonald's, about, 45 minutes ago, what's the deal? Why is it so hard to eat healthy in America?
It is impossible. It's rude. It's rude.
I did not expect you to say it's rude.
Yeah, honestly, every night when dinner's rolling around and I do get a lot of joy out of cooking, but sometimes in busy seasons, it's just like, I gotta cook dinner. And when you cook everything from scratch, it's not just like something you can throw together, like.
So you're just bitter.
A little. Sometimes. Because I just want to go out to eat sometimes.
Yeah.
We do go out sometimes, but maybe it's good. Maybe I would go out a lot more if there were
Well,
healthy
imagine
options.
if fast food was just healthy. we'd spend all our budget on fast food.
Yeah, you're right.
It would be bad.
It's probably best. But I feel like we live in Western Kentucky. It's not quite a food desert, but there's not a lot of options.
What do you mean by food desert? I'm not overly familiar with that term.
That is a place that doesn't have access to a lot of fresh food. So a lot of these small towns.
No, we're not a food desert. No. By any means.
But we don't have a ton of options.
We're an organic food desert.
Organic food desert. We are, for sure.
Just about.
But like an hour down the road where your grandmother lives, her grocery store option is abysmal. It's the Dollar General.
It's the Dollar General Fresh Market, I think.
Yeah. And there's nothing but processed food there. They might have bananas.
They do have like cheese and milk and, the regular supermarket stuff, which I guess. Yeah.
It's small.
It is small.
It's really small.
I don't know how all of them are. Of course, that's a very tiny town.
I know.
And so they might do better.
America's made up of very tiny towns all over the place.
It's true. It feels impossible based on location because of all the things that are around you. And it feels impossible based on culture as well.
Oh. Yeah.
It stinks that, all right, Emily, you want to eat healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, you are now the outsider.
Weirdo.
You're the weirdo.
Total weirdo. You ruin everything.
And everybody's annoyed by you because you go to a party and you don't necessarily want to stick your hands in the Doritos bag and start giving your kids all the red candies and everything else. You're the weirdo.
And then people feel like they have to cater to me sometimes. And I'm like, just don't worry about me. I can bring my own thing.
And then, but is that considered rude?
Yeah. And a lot of times people will actually put forth an effort, but they fail because they don't understand what they're eating.
Oh, that's nice because it's in it. It's it's good intentions. But,
yeah,
but
but it's still not good, wholesome
So
stuff.
what might be an example of that?
Okay, like ice cream. Say like
You get something without dye, but it's still full of corn syrup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hydrogenated oils and all that kind of stuff. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I mean. It's like, dyes aren't the only thing that I'm concerned about.
Well, it is a concern particularly for one of ours because it has happened and it changes how he acts for several days. Several days.
It's not worth it to me.
Yeah.
I've told people before, like, if dyes don't affect your kid, then, whatever. But it's like a hard no for us.
Yeah.
We aren't doing
Well,
it.
it changes our whole week.
It's not worth it.
Yeah. It slipped in there a couple of times, mostly not behind our backs. That sounds worse than I mean it, but without our knowledge. It has happened a couple of times. I don't think it's ever happened by us.
Yeah, I have given him dyes. Crunchy Mom is admitting that I took my child to a local bakery and allowed him to get a sugar cookie that was frosted with food-dyed frosting.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard it here first. The Really Very Crunchy podcast exclusive. Crunchy Mom gives her son food dye.
This was before I was really very crunchy. And also,
well, okay.
Yeah, no, never since no.
We talked about this place not being quite a food desert. We're not a food desert. I'll tell you that. Because let's talk about, shall we, Paducah, Kentucky? It's the opposite of, what's the opposite of a desert? Oasis? It is a fast food oasis.
Okay. When I said food desert, I meant access to healthy food and fresh food.
It is a fast food oasis. I'm coining that term. This is from 2016, so it could have changed. I don't know. We're going on 8 years now.
No, we've gotten so many more restaurants.
It has to be, and we haven't grown that much.
No.
Yeah, so it has to be still on par. Only cities. Okay, Paducah, fast food capital of the world. That is our
world.
We're also the quilting capital of the world. So if you ever want to, go see a quilt, beautiful quilts, by the way, and then grab a McDonald's, we have like 4 of them. So.
Do we have 4 McDonald's? We
at
used
least
to.
3.
There used to be. No, listen.
I know we have 3.
There used to be one right outside the mall.
Mm-hmm.
On the same road. Then there was one in the mall, and then there was one across the street in Walmart.
The mall.
We never really went to the mall McDonald's. It was kind of like dark and sketchy.
We've been kicked out of our local mall for filming, by the way. Fun story. Anyway, I don't want to dump on our town. We have a cool town. I like our town.
Our town is a UNESCO creative city.
It's a big
deal.
City.
It's a cool place. Lots of artists. Lots of, our downtown area is so charming and cute. Lots of cool local businesses.
Tons of trans fats. From those French fries and burgers and chicken nuggets. Got tons of those too.
Okay.
Yeah. Only cities with a population threshold of over 95th percentile of the state were considered. The next highest in Kentucky, coincidentally, has the most interesting Taco Bell menu. I don't know where I got this. Menu prices.
Why are you reading this?
Anyway, Paducah, Kentucky, 13.18 fast food restaurants per 10,000 people. And we go down there's a place in Oklahoma, Louisiana, Mississippi.
But we have the most?
Per capita.
In 2016.
Yeah.
We do have any fast food you could possibly want.
So we're 13.18 per 10,000.
Except
then the next one down is 10.9 per 10,000. So it's like quite a couple of, few points there.
Let me say this. We don't have a Chipotle, which is apparently
we have
one
a
moderately...
Qdoba. Yeah, we have a Qdoba. Isn't that the same thing?
No, I don't know. I've never been to a Chipotle.
The Chipotle people are going to come after me. Are there Chipotle people?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been to one, but
I've
people
neither.
talk about how fresh and healthy they are. I don't know. I think it is like a healthier fast food option.
Still fast food.
I've never gotten to experience it, but that's the one that we don't have. Like the one maybe healthy fast food. Paducah's like, nah. Here's the thing about Chipotle, though. I did just see somebody sent me this chart that showed all the PFAS or forever chemicals found, or was it phthalates?
Either way, it's not good news, whatever you're about to say.
Found on the wrapping of fast food, like on the paper.
Yeah, but how long is it really wrapped, though? It's just a very heated food.
It's getting
Put in a
your food.
warmer.
Anyway, Chipotle was like at the top of the list.
Really?
Their paper, yeah. It's one of the worst.
Being who you are, from just a food perspective, whether it's like birthday parties or outings or what, how hard is it? Is it annoying to be you sometimes? Because
it is.
For me, I'm more willing to be like, I'm 37. I've made it this far. At this, I'm going to eat this or whatever, which obviously at like a dinner party and you're being served a meal, we're not rejecting the meal.
Unless it has dyes.
For the kids.
I will reject it.
Yeah, okay. But like just in normal, like whether you're talking about parties or get-togethers or whatever, is it just annoying for you?
Here's an example of a really awkward situation that was only made more awkward because I am me.
Yeah.
So we went to VBS last week. Our kids were like in different classes, and one of the teachers of my 4-year-old, I've told them like my kids don't need snacks. This is at 6:30. They had dinner.
Uh-huh.
We really don't need snacks. Anyway.
Yeah, but if all the other kids are getting them.
Yeah. Well, so I told them no dyes.
Yeah.
Anyway, she hands me a box of red, white, and blue Cheerios. And I look at it and just flip it over, and it's like red 40, blue 4.
Now, this red 40, is it a dye?
Anyway, I'm just thinking like, yeah, well, I said no dyes, but I have to be really like, oh yeah, we don't really do dyes, because I'm trying to be like overly.
Is it lying
kind.
To say that they're allergic?
That's what I don't know.
What's the lie?
I know. That's what I think.
Aren't we all allergic to food dye? If it's a carcinogen?
What if it was an actual allergy? Because I put it under the allergies. So I'm thinking, what if it was, like peanuts for somebody?
I'm going to say if it
out
causes...
like, your kid's kind of nervous about eating this peanut butter sandwich. Like, yeah. It's because we don't eat peanuts. No.
That's a good point. Except
it's just not treated as valid.
He's not going to go in anaphylactic shock over red dye. He's just going to, try to stab us with a knife.
No. I get it. I totally agree. But I also just feel like if I put that on there, then why aren't they respecting that as a valid
Well, they did. They
decision?
came out and asked you, which is a little weird.
No, they came out and asked because our kid wasn't going to eat it.
Oh,
he was refusing to eat it.
Yeah, good point.
He's like, I'm pretty sure he can't read. And he's like, I'm pretty sure this has dyes.
It's got colors. And that don't look organic.
It was funny when she handed me this Cheerio box. You were like, oh, glyphosate. Like, as if that was my major concern.
We forgot about that one, huh?
But yeah, no, it is annoying because people sort of expect it of me. Like, oh, what is she going to make a deal out of this time? I think,
Is that perceived, or do you think that's real?
I don't know. Because I tried to bring snacks for them once when they were going to class, and they said no. I tried to bring my own snacks.
Makes the other kids jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, really?
Yeah.
Just let me provide my own kids. Like, let me provide their food.
Yeah. Well, and you've talked about this before, I think, in your book, maybe, but like you're like at a birthday party, if obviously they all have rainbow cake, you're happy to provide a cupcake. A
My
neat,
kids get pumped about it.
but it's
'cause I let
a
'em
neat. It's
decorate
actually a
it.
really neat strategy. Kind of go into like what you kind of pump them up.
Yeah.
Like, guys, you get to make whatever dessert you want for this birthday party. And they love it. And it's a whole process. They get to make it themselves and frost it up as much as they want.
They don't even care that they're not getting.
Well, they prefer what you help them
They got
make.
to choose it.
Yeah.
They got to decorate it.
I think that's a really
Super fun.
brilliant strategy if you're trying to avoid certain types of foods.
And it's not, I mean, they don't feel left out. I am 100% certain they don't feel left out.
You've changed me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't care about this stuff. I was happy. I think about ingredients. I think about where they come from. I think about farms. I think about how animals are treated. And honestly, it's not even because you have made a point on all of these things. It's like, no, it's kind of more of a, I want to eat healthier, more whole foods. It's better. You should think about it. Think about where your food comes from. And then I actually do read about this stuff, and it's frightening.
Mm.
It's actually frightening. Like, so you read something about pigs recently?
No, somebody told me
Oh.
that they are friends with some pig farmers, like factory farm pigs.
Is it a big company?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't remember anything about what company it is or anything.
Yeah.
She just said she knows someone in the industry, and they said that they'll buy like semi trucks full of expired candy and just feed it to the pigs, and they'll just leave the wrappers on even. Or expired dog food.
What are they trying to
feed it to the
is it
pigs.
just a cheap thing, or is it trying to fatten them up? Or
I guess. I don't know.
And then just
that
leave
was
the-
weird to me. I have never heard that before, but she told me that. I mean,
maybe that's the really good sausage that it's in a special section.
the sweet sausage.
Yeah.
No, that's sweet sausage just because they added corn syrup. Have you ever looked at the sausages? It's just abysmal. At the grocery store, you cannot get a clean sausage in Paducah, Kentucky
Well, not
without
here.
ordering it from.
No. And then when
Nurtured
you can,
Lands.
if you're in a bigger place that has organic, great sausages, it is terrifyingly expensive.
Mhm.
Meat, especially.
Oh, yeah. When we first started our whole food journey
Yeah.
and we were actually going to a Whole Foods, I caught a ride with this girl who was in the same campground as we were, and the sausages were so expensive that we split one for dinner. I actually gave you like 2/3 and I ate a third,
I appreciate it.
but that's what we would do. That's how we could afford
I remember that. It was really yummy though.
So
It was so good. What is a person to do if they don't have the money to do that kind of to
well,
buy organic
you
everything?
can find local farms. I mean, depending on where you live, but here in Paducah, Kentucky, we have a blueberry patch. I mean, these people just have a small business. They don't spray their blueberries or anything. They're not certified organic, but I can see the weeds growing up around. I see bugs crawling on it. They're good blueberries.
Mm-hmm.
And it costs $3 a pound.
Yeah.
That's far more cost efficient than going to the store and buying whatever those
Yeah.
pints are that they have.
Yeah.
So
They're outrageously
it's not a
expensive.
money thing there. It's a time thing, but they're
Mhm.
also super flexible with and work with you. A lot of times farmers are willing to allow you to come volunteer and help out, and
There's a lot of co-ops and
Mhm.
stuff. Yeah.
and you can earn food
Mm-hmm.
just by working for it.
Just to simplify it even more though, I mean, we're talking about how much Stouffer's, you eat a bag of Stouffer's versus gathering all the ingredients yourself, even if it's not organic, is going to be healthier than like a bag of something that's more processed,
Yeah,
right?
definitely. They add extra oils and
Because you're controlling your ingredients there.
Mhm.
Now, I mean, you might need to wash some of your stuff a little
Yeah.
more, but
when you look at the back of a bag of Stouffer's, are you not overwhelmed by the amount of ingredients that are under that nutrition label?
yeah, I mean, I think
Like,
I think a really good
can't
example.
even pronounce half of those things.
I think a perfect example of that is frozen pizza, versus homemade pizza. Takes a lot of time to make your homemade pizza, but if you look at what your ingredients are, even if it's not organic, it's whole or it's whole ingredients that you can pronounce, that you know what it is. And you look at a DiGiorno, and half the box is the ingredient list.
Monotriglyceride.
What is all
whatever.
that? Is it for packaging? Is it for being able to be on a shelf for years? What's the deal?
Yeah, I'm sure it's preservatives and flavor enhancers.
Oh, and you get them to buy more, right?
My parents had us down for dinner. I appreciate when they have us over for dinner. I'm super grateful. Free food, generally pretty clean. But she served green beans, and I just happened to look at the can that they came in, and it said water, beans, MSG, monosodium glutamate. I'm trying to think of what MSG is.
I was, THC was in my head for whatever reason. Like, THC those are some beans. Good green beans. Couldn't stop eating them. Yeah.
Well, I tried to just say, you don't have to give my kids any green beans. She was helping me make their plates. I was like, just don't give them any green beans. She's like, oh, they'll love it. And she put it on. So I didn't say anything, but I'm like, you're giving my kids MSGs.
Listen, I'm married.
I don't need MSGs. Like, I want to say something, but I don't, because that's an example where I just feel like, what's 3 green beans going to hurt them?
Can I come from the other perspective?
It was so funny because, hold on, let me just say this. My parents listen to this. I love you. Thank you for everything that you do. But Alder was chowing down on those green beans. She's like, see? He loves them. I just had to hold my tongue.
Can I?
But is this awkward that now she's going to listen to it? I held my tongue, but now I'm speaking it publicly.
I defend them for a second? I'm going to defend your parents here.
They really try.
No, I'm going to defend them.
And they always apologize.
Let me defend them.
Okay.
Who in the world buys a can of green beans and thinks that there's anything else in it but maybe water and salt? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not looking at the back of a green bean can.
I look at the back of everything. I'm genuinely curious. Even if it's junk food and I'm going to eat it, I want to know what junk I'm eating.
My point is, I don't care if it's organic, not organic, whatever. I would have never bought a can of green beans and thought, I better check for MSGs or THC or whatever's in it.
You do not have to check for THC.
Maybe in the future.
BHT.
Yeah.
TBH.
Now, I know to look in things like sauces, like mayonnaise has BHT sometimes, or it has whatever.
You don't need to be looking at the mayonnaise, boo. I got you. Remember, didn't you just tell me today that my mayonnaise is your favorite? I know it wasn't always your favorite.
This is the first time it's ever been my favorite.
I got it thicker for you. Don't ever look at the mayonnaise, Jason.
Your old mayonnaise was it was like eating an egg yolk.
No, it wasn't.
It was so runny.
It was runny. It wasn't an egg yolk.
Ugh,
it was
this is not mayonnaise.
This salad dressing.
Yeah. Nobody wants that on their sandwich.
I just needed to get the emulsification to happen in the first quarter cup of that oil.
Well, 15 years in and you nailed it. Good job, sweetie.
Thanks.
Good mayonnaise. I'm sold. We're already almost out. Need to make another. Okay, but I'm just saying, like, I look in things like hot sauce. Like, if I buy a hot sauce or something, which I'm gonna make my own this summer if the peppers actually grow. Yeah.
Have you even looked at your pepper bed, Jason? They're growing.
Have they? I haven't looked.
I planted it. You were like, I'll do the pepper bed.
What?
I planted the peppers. I'm a little red hen over here. I'm watching the peppers.
I'm doing the peppers.
I'm watering the peppers.
I'm doing the peppers. It's been raining. What do I need to do?
I watered your peppers.
Let them grow.
Yeah.
Anyway, greenwashing is real. Okay.
You could really if you were really doing it right, you should be buying the fresh green beans and canning them yourself when they're in season.
Well, I get that, but sometimes you don't always have that option. Some people don't do that. Some people don't have the time to do it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I do everything perfect. I buy frozen vegetables a lot.
Why is that better than canned?
I think when you're canning it, you're cooking it, which is then
in aluminum,
degrading the nutritional value because every time food is cooked,
you mean
nutrients are
canning in
released.
general, even just like
even home canning, you are not maintaining. No,
you're coming after the home canners.
No, I will never, because I'm so impressed by people who are like hardcore canners. I love home canned food. I'm just saying, nutritionally speaking, I think freeze drying is the best.
Who wants to eat freeze dried?
Well, you rehydrate them, Jason.
That sounds like it's going to turn into a clump of mush.
Freezing, then maybe dehydrating, then canning.
What are you eating, like MREs or something?
Or maybe, dehydrating's a slower process.
Just add water and your green beans come back.
Canned food is from the store a lot of times cooked in that aluminum. So when you've purged your house of like nonstick pans and plastic utensils, but then you're still buying canned food, well, it just makes you wonder.
It's better than like all three of the things happening.
Not everything. Yeah, you're right. And not everything is cooked in the can.
And let me just say this. Green beans with a little bit of MSG is better than DiGiorno. It's better than taquitos. It's better than Fruit Loops.
I don't know about Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops were delicious.
Did you say were? As though you were lamenting that you don't ever get to eat Fruit Loops again?
Ever again.
Fruit Loops were delicious. That's the saddest I've ever heard you in my life.
The milk left behind.
Yeah.
So fruity and sweet.
I miss Trix. Fruity Pebbles.
Man, we used to pound some Captain Crunch.
Oh, man.
The off-brand.
The Colossal Berry Crunch or something?
No. Yeah.
Berry Colossal Crunch. One of the, I don't remember the order, but, or the, like the Sugar Smacks or whatever.
I was never into that.
Oh, I was. You talk about good milk afterwards.
But this country is being raised on corn.
Well, it's
GMO corn.
It's easy.
Everything is corn.
Yeah.
Everything that people are eating. Heavily sprayed, genetically modified corn.
And even our meat's eating all the corn.
I know.
Like our food's food.
It's corn.
It's corn.
Yep.
And then we eat corn on the side with our meat that ate corn.
I do love corn.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got into this mode as a country of food convenience. I mean, healthy, good food takes time. And it's very inconvenient to have to make all your meals, to make breakfast, to make lunch, to make dinner.
We could get into some conspiracies here. It's sort of like the deconstruction of the American family was the cause of all this convenience, all this need for convenience in food. Women deciding to work rather than stay home. And then there's this need for something easy.
If I'm just going off the top of my head, it seems more like an advancement in technology provided people a way to conveniently
why did they need that? That's what I'm saying.
Well, why do we need, and I'm doing air quotes, why do we need any of the advancements we have? It's to make our lives easier, to allow us to do the things we would rather be doing than what we're doing currently. Nobody wants to scrub floors with their hands, so they made a mop. Nobody wants to wash all the dishes by hand, so they made a dishwasher. Nobody wants to do those things.
Yeah,
so cooking probably falls in line with that for some people. Some people love cooking, but some people just did it because that's what had to be done. And so now we have microwave dinners, which, it's not even good. That's the problem. It doesn't taste good.
I know. I used to get those kids. What are they called?
Hormel?
No.
Those are awesome.
My parents did not force me to eat the Hormel. They got me the ones with the penguins on them.
What? Penguins?
Yeah, what was the kids cuisine. Cuisine. Yeah.
Fancy. I wasn't that fancy.
Little brownie that got burned to the edges of the plastic.
Nice.
And you would scrape it.
Wow. Are we even going to make it to 40?
Yeah, I don't know. I do think about that. Like, I think a lot of your long-term health, like one reason your grandmother is 95 years old and still kicking is because her
THC.
foundation, her foundational years, like her early years, she was eating eggs that came from her neighbor,
Yeah.
pork that came from her neighbor, like eating healthy food on
whole food.
Whole
that
foods.
Is just naturally grown, not sprayed, none of the junk.
Nothing convenience.
Let's put quotes around healthy.
Yeah,
because
okay.
A lot of this stuff is fried, and I know
when
there's
she
this
was
whole.
a kid?
Oh sure, it's the South.
Yeah,
it was
guess.
still all fried foods and gravy.
But at least it was.
But it was good, or it was good ingredients.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like she cooked her fried okra using fresh flour.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you go for whole
grease.
foods.
Yeah.
And it's so much healthier than the garbage that's in the store. Mm-hmm. That's the point I was making earlier. Is that you can almost make terrible things from better ingredients and have a healthier life, in my opinion.
That's what
this is science. I know the studies. I've read all of them.
Well, this is what I worry about.
That's sarcasm, by the way.
I was breastfed. And so
do you want to get into this?
No, my first year, nutritionally pretty good. But then beyond that, it was a slippery slope. My parents both worked. They were busy. They were trying their best. But we ate a lot of McDonald's.
In the 90s, were there other options? There weren't.
There were 90s Crunchy Moms. There were.
Yeah, okay.
They were still eating Nature Valley granola bars, but maybe Nature Valley was better then.
Maybe. I don't know. Okay, there weren't that many crunchy people in the 90s.
No, we didn't even have organic food in Paducah.
But that kind of gets into
in 2006. The only thing I could find at the store was organic tortilla chips.
And that gets kind of into the whole, like, how much marketing are we talking about? Because they know how to get in and change, put in pesticides and things in organic food.
Yeah.
Because it's off the, it's all based on what their certification allows and doesn't allow.
I totally believe that. And I'm not even one to die on the organic hill. Of course I'll choose it when I can, because I don't like the idea of glyphosate, but I agree with you. I'm saying the best thing to do is eat whole foods.
Yeah.
Real foods.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said
agree
it first.
Okay. I probably told you that.
Oh, yeah. I totally got it all from you. I would be eating Hormel right now if it weren't for you. I'd be microwaving my dinners right now. If I didn't know you, I would be microwaving my dinners.
When you met me, you were microwaving your dinners.
Why would I have changed?
Yeah.
If it not been for you. That's the point I'm making.
Yeah. Until this year, I don't really think you've been on board. You've been okay with it. You go along with it. Yes.
No.
How many fudge rounds did you eat a year at Mr. Cool when you worked there and there was a vending machine?
You don't have to get into that.
50? 60? 120?
That's closer, probably.
Because you didn't care. Like, you weren't
Listen, it was that or smoking, okay?
You weren't personally trying to make healthier choices. You were just like, my wife will do it for me. My wife makes my meals. My wife packs my lunch. You always took leftovers. Like, I made the healthy choices for you, and that was great. But I feel like now you're actually on board.
I don't know. Well, I guess so.
Yeah.
Maybe. Let's talk about greenwashing then. So natural flavors can you explain what greenwashing is to someone who might not know? Greenwashing
is posing a product as better than it actually is.
So natural flavors is a perfect example of that, correct?
Well, they are saying it's a flavor, but by saying it's a natural flavor, you have this idea that they're like giving you the essence of strawberry or something.
But it's not strawberry.
Squeezing it. No, they are using a maybe it starts out as a natural thing. The base of it is natural, but it's still made in a lab. It is not a
naturally made lab.
Yeah. So yeah, that's tricky.
Our lab is located in a forest.
Where
we scientifically engineer the flavors for you to eat. What would it be like if they didn't have natural flavors?
that's what I mean,
It would just be leather instead of fruit leather.
No, the one that I buy doesn't have any natural flavors.
There's a leather roll.
Apple and strawberry and no flavor, just what it is. Doesn't taste like candy.
Yeah.
Tastes like fruit. Not that I buy them that often. Just putting that out there.
Do you think the average American knows what real food tastes like? Is that a rude question? Is that the kind of question to get you in trouble?
No, because I see these reels on Instagram of these moms like quick and healthy dinner. And it's like they dump a pack of Velveeta in and they like, I am honestly, and it's not judgmental, shocked by some of the dinners that I see in reels. I am absolutely shocked that people are feeding their families.
And not
these
just,
things.
not on a, occasional thing because it's easy or whatever, but they're actually posting videos. It's like, this is a family favorite. This is Tuesdays.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just like dumping cereal on stuff and crunching up chips and putting it in. And like, yeah, I bet it tastes delicious, but
it's barely food.
Yeah.
Like in terms of just like from its natural source.
Yeah.
Like do most people who eat this way, cook this way, understand what food?
We are so conditioned by salt and sugar.
Yeah.
Like so much salt and so much sugar that our taste buds are whacked out, totally screwed up because of all the processed food.
Yeah.
And like all the added oils and everything has so much sugar too.
Oh, so speaking of the oils, you said something about they're changing something to watch out for. They're changing the names of the oils.
Yeah.
Right?
So now it's pretty widely known that canola oil is inflammatory and should be avoided.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I've got that one down. No canola oil.
Businesses are privy to this. So now they're changing it on the back to be known as rapeseed oil, which is what canola oil is.
Okay,
It's from the rapeseed.
I'm sorry. That sounds way worse.
You're like,
it's way
oil.
it's way easier to just tell people don't get the rapeseed oil. And like, oh, gotcha. I'm on board.
Okay, but if you don't know and you're finally making healthy choices, you're like, okay, I'm gonna avoid canola oil, rapeseed oil. Oh, that one's fine.
How's coconut oil? Is that okay?
I think coconut oil's fine.
There was a time it wasn't. Then it came back, and it's like, yeah, we're kind of like butter. Butter doesn't know what it's supposed to be.
No.
Is it good? Is it bad?
Yeah, and like I try to tell people I'm not an expert. I don't know all the scientific
You're my
reasoning behind
nutritionist.
stuff. Well, I'm not a nutritionist.
You're mine.
I was the secretary in the nutrition office in college.
Yeah.
So I got some.
That's something.
Something.
Yeah.
I had to organize in a card catalog their recipes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anything good in there? Velveeta night Tuesday.
I did see some Velveeta type stuff. I'm
Sweet.
like, what the heck?
In a nutritionist office.
I mean, you look at a hospital.
college.
No. Go to a hospital. See what they're serving people. There are nutritionists on staff supposed to be making those meals.
It's very hard to make good quality food for a lot of people every single day.
They're certainly charging enough, though.
Hospitals don't make enough money, Emily. They can't do that. They can't afford. They're helping people. They're busy saving lives. They don't make enough money.
They are busy saving lives.
And they don't make enough money to provide patients with whole foods, okay? Yes, they send us the same bill every time I go to the
kidney specialist.
Yes, I get
12 bills. Hold on now. I went to the kidney doctor once.
I went to the emergency room 12 years ago, and I keep getting the same bill every month, and I paid it. Still getting that bill.
No, I have a friend who said that her dentist would randomly send them bills, and they would always have to call and be like, hey, we didn't
I think something fishy's going on.
Something fishy's going on. Oh, well, we got totally our mouths.
Yeah.
Remember? In Boys Town, we went to the dentist. Neither of us had ever had a cavity in our whole life. Ever. Every single kid we took to that dentist had a cavity. Well, that was like the dentist that they provided. And so we decided to go get our 6-month checkup, whatever. He's like, you have 4 cavities. What? I've never had a cavity in my life.
Shocked.
Never.
Yeah.
What in the world? What do you mean? Then he's like, I'm going to go ahead and fill 2 of them. This was before I was on my crunchy journey. Didn't
Hey,
even
these are
look into
top
it,
quality fillings right here, though. There's
okay, but listen, I got 2 fillings. We quit those jobs. We moved on. I went to a dentist. I said, I know I have 2 cavities. No, you don't. He lied. He was lying to get money doing fake fillings.
That or he has really bad eyesight. Maybe he needs to go see an optometrist.
I can't believe it.
You have really bad. He intentionally puts up blurry letters on the wall. Oh, yep. You need glasses.
I've been to several dentists since then, and every single one, I'm like, I was told I have cavities. Do you see anything? Nope.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my fillings are completely useless. Like, or they were never needed. Yeah.
I cannot believe we were ripped.
Ripped.
This is my oral health we're talking about.
Did you want to get into some articles, or at least I can glaze over them? It's an article just a couple of days ago. How milk became the new culture war, dividing America. This is right up your alley.
I would say milk is not the issue.
So, for more than 130 years, Americans have been instructed that drinking milk that comes directly from a cow's udder can be dangerous.
More than 30 years?
130 years.
Oh, I was like, it's definitely been more than 30 years.
Since 1995. Yeah. The U.S. dairy industry spends millions of dollars each year heating its product to 70 degrees Celsius before sale to kill microorganisms that can make people ill. However, there's a lot of people who don't want that to happen, and it's a growing thing. Market data suggests that there has been at least a 20% increase in demand for raw milk in the last year. State politicians are facing demands to liberalize decades-old food safety laws. This week, the latest bill to repeal an outright ban on raw milk will hit the governor's desk in Louisiana after similar efforts in West Virginia, Iowa, Georgia, and North Dakota.
They're trying to ban it?
To not ban it.
Unban.
Yeah, to deban.
Deban.
Repeal a ban, yeah. Politicians were heard mooing in the state legislature as the bill passed. That's fun. These are your elected officials, everyone. If the bill is signed, it'll be possible.
Wait, that was true? I thought you were making a joke.
No, that's the article.
Mood.
Judy McGreary, the founder of Farm and Ranch Freedom Alliance campaign group, she has a couple of pretty good quotes about this. There's a lot more understanding now than there was in the 1950s when pasteurization became widespread about the benefits of unprocessed food and probiotic encouraging foods, such as raw milk. This isn't heroin. Some people are going to get it regardless. All you've done by banning it is make it really expensive and really difficult to buy.
Mm-hmm.
The pushback on that says that the FDA says that 143 deaths have occurred from various illnesses in the U.S. linked to raw milk consumption.
Total in the 130 years that it's been banned?
Since 1987.
Oh.
So in 37 years.
That's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
But you do have to wonder.
But at the low number of 143 over 37 years, I don't know. Maybe they had something else going on.
Or, I mean, there are potential downsides. It is true, but if you have a credible source,
listen, that's what creeps me out.
And it's clean and fresh, and everything's being handled.
There's a
properly.
lot of ifs there when you're just going to your weird milk guy that you don't know in the town 1 hour away.
You see what his practices are. You look in his barn, you see what's going on. You can tell.
I mean, you don't know if he washes his hand when he goes to the bathroom.
That's not what's going to kill you.
Doesn't help.
No, I don't know. But how many people have died from romaine lettuce? Can you look it
I
up
am
right
not
now, Jason?
prepared for that question. It took me off guard a little bit. I don't know how reliable this is. It looks like 5.
No.
And then 197 illnesses from E. coli and romaine lettuce, but 5 people died.
More than that.
So
Every year someone dies from romaine lettuce.
how many people have died on their way to get raw milk
That's
versus drinking raw milk?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Probably more.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Entire 15-passenger vanfuls.
That's so sad. Why am I laughing at that?
Because it was a good joke, Emily.
It was good.
That's why. No, that's terrifying.
Well, I hope that we are doing right by our boys, and we are not perfect by any means. We make questionable choices food-wise sometimes. I wish I was a hardcore Weston A. Price person who's feeding their kids pure bone broth only. And
what? That sounds like starvation.
It's the first step. No, that's the first step. You have to.
What are we having for dinner,
detox.
Mama? Bone broth.
Bone broth. No,
I am then shuttling them to Culver's. The moment you tell me that bone broth is for dinner, I'm going to.
You've had my bone broth. It's delicious.
Not by
so
itself.
Good. So satisfying. Yes, it is.
No, I'm saying I'm not as the only thing to eat.
Oh, yeah. It's part of a process. I don't know.
Come on, kids. We're getting a DQ chicken strip basket.
Please don't.
With gravy.
Please.
And toast.
Don't. You know far too much about the DQ chicken strip basket.
Oh, it's the best.
Why do you know that it comes with gravy and toast?
You knew it came with gravy and toast.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
I've only eaten about 1,000 of them.
Not around me.
How recently do you think I've had DQ's chicken strip basket with gravy and toast? If you had to guess, just realistically, if you had to guess, how recent do you think it's been?
3 years.
2 months.
What? Why?
I think I was filming a wedding, and it was like my last wedding, actually. And
so you decided to celebrate with Dairy Queen?
I wasn't celebrating. I was just eating.
Mm.
Can we talk about, just briefly, we can end on this. I don't care. Crunchy, not crunchy, but Crunchy Mom's peanut butter.
No, it's not even crunchy to buy peanut butter because the mycotoxins, the mold. Ugh. So you can't even be crunchy and buy peanut butter, but we do. We buy peanut butter. We love it. Well, we're risking it.
Yeah, well, let's just say that
you hate it.
It's awful.
It's just peanuts and salt.
It's awful. There is no spreading it. It doesn't spread on things. Yeah. It's clumps of peanuts.
I love it. I think it's delicious.
Like a peanut paste that doesn't spread. Who wants that? I would rather not have peanut butter. Give me Peter Pan peanut butter.
I mean, when you have been so used to the crunchy peanut butter, not literally, figuratively, crunchy peanut butter, and then you have a spoonful of that.
It's like candy.
Like dessert.
It's
crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about Peter Pan. I've just had like the organic with palm oil and sugar added. And I was like,
Choosy moms choose Jif, Emily. They should make the Crunchy Mom version of peanut butter and call it clumps, because that's what it is. It's just clumps of peanuts. Like, try all new clumps. Unspreadable peanut butter.
I feel like my jam
rips your bread in half with every stroke.
Not so much. That last loaf of sourdough I made, nothing could rip that bread.
No, that was indestructible. I had to sharpen the knife 4 times just to get one slice.
I came in this morning.
What in the world?
And you were like, I woke the kids with a chainsaw. I believed you. I was like, what? Like cutting your sourdough. Fail.
Yeah, it was it was easier to go through the cutting board than it was your sourdough.
Thank you for listening to the Really Very Crunchy podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure you leave a review. Thank you to everyone who has left a review.
The reviews are
so
amazing.
Encouraging to sit there. I have been brought to tears reading the reviews on this podcast.
You said that already.
Oh, well, it's
happened
true.
again. She keeps crying over the reviews. If you want to make Emily cry, leave a 5-star review, and maybe we'll.
I just can't believe that people like us.
I know that's hard for you because you've had a rough life of, a friendless childhood, but.
Well, and we've been friendless for our entire adulthood too. Like we just.
Most of it, yeah.
Did not have friends until very recently.
Well, we had friends sporadically. And
just quick,
random places.
And then we kept in touch with them, but not like a regular friend.
Yeah.
So it just is hard for me to believe.
So anyone, if you leave a review, Emily counts you as a friend.
Pathetic. I'm totally pathetic. Somebody said that they liked that we put a recipe in the show notes, so I'm going to include that because that's kind of fun, like something we made for dinner this week.
Is it going to be a surprise?
It'll be a surprise.
Nice. All right. Well, thank you for listening, and can't wait to see you in the next episode.
It's going to be sweet potato tacos. I'm going to share my recipe for the sweet potato tacos. They're so good.
It was really good. We already had it.
Yeah. Thanks again.
Bye.